Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Thursday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in the US and, of course, speak with the Weber State women's basketball team. And, of course, they're currently about to hit the road for their next games this weekend. And, of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now that tell us a bit about it. Thanks, all three, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get all three to introduce yourselves and tell us what positions all three you play on the court.
Hi, I'm Mikayla Peterson. I play the 4-man.
My name's Charlotte Hegbold, and I play PG and a shooter.
I'm Laura Taylor, and I play a 2-3.
Tell us a bit about the season so far for the Weber State.
It's been a good season so far. We actually start conference this week. We've had quite a few games. We actually won our first game, which was really exciting for us and really got us going. We have a really strong group. Our girls, we want to win, and we're going to do everything we can to get that win.
And we're undefeated so far at home. So hopefully, once our conference games start up, we'll keep that running. So I feel like we're all pretty confident going into that.
Obviously, you're currently back to Border Plain and obviously hitting the road. How's the preparations like going to your road trips this weekend?
So we have 2 games coming up. We have Northern Arizona, and then straight after that we have Portland. To prepare, we've been scouting, we've been running our own stuff, going through what they run. We also look at scout. We'll look at that when we have shoot around and our practices and stuff. But most of us look at our scout on the plane. We've got a bit of time to look over film. So we've got some time to get ready for our game.
And our games are usually Thursdays and Saturdays. So Mondays, practice is really heavy, running up and down the court, scrimmaging. And then the next couple of days is focusing on the other team, and then we'll have a session focusing on ourselves, which I think is really good to keep your focus kind of aimed at one aspect of your game, because it is a lot to think about sometimes, especially when the coaches are drilling in the scout into your head and saying, make sure you know what this is. So having that separation is really good for preparation as well.
So give your local basketball associations back home a bit of a shout out and how important they've been throughout all three of your basketball journeys to where you got to now.
My first one, so a shout out to all the people at Ballarat, all my family from around. They've actually been logging on to ESPN. They've been following me on all my Facebook stuff and keeping up to date. So I really appreciate everyone there, and thank you for getting for me from the transition for JUCO all the way to Division 1. So appreciate it.
Shout out to Diamond Valley. I've been with them since I was 12 years old, so the full program. Shout out to Paris too. I know you're watching me. One of my coaches, and I think I don't even know what to say, but yeah, just shout out.
Hey, shout out to Ipswich basketball. Did my whole junior career there. Had an absolutely great experience. Thank you. Shout out to my family. They're always supporting me. Even my friends, crazy. It's so funny how sometimes you think, you have your days where you feel like you're so far away from everyone and you're really just by yourself, and you get into your head sometimes. But then, when family reach out to you and show you the love and they'll share a post, and then that lifts you up. So I feel just shout out to everyone who's always constant support, even through social media. So yeah.
2 final ones, because I know you're about to board in about 2-3 minutes. How special is to play with each other on the same team, and especially all three have been Aussies, obviously 2 Victorians and a Queenslander?
I think it's really great because, Charlotte's from Queensland, and we don't get to, me and LT don't usually get to play with people from Queensland. And I think it's a great experience, sort of learning also her culture, being from Queensland and us from Melbourne. So yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I'd just say that it's awesome to have at least a couple people who you can connect with on a level, not just we love Vegemite or something like that, but it's more you have people who that they understand your own kind of feelings, especially when you're so far away from home.
Yeah,
like
what
at
you're
least
going
you
through.
know that there's someone there who will be there for you, and you can talk to them because you know that they're going through the exact same thing. So
my little thing is like going off that is at basketball, it's actually been a running joke now where everyone's trying to have an Australian accent, like even on the court, like say corner. And so it actually brings a lot of humor to the team.
for sure.
Like, you know, they talk about stuff and we're joking around that we ride kangaroos to school, even
Right.
they know that's a joke. Like
yeah.
little stuff like that, I think it really brings our team closer because we understand their culture and we can also like teach them, you know, what it is
Exactly.
to be like from Australia and to come visit, even though apparently we have big spiders and snakes everywhere. So yeah.
Now, one final one, and I always ask this question, which is, what does the sport of basketball mean to all three, and especially now being over there at Weber State?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, honestly, means everything to me. Since I was young, I've always wanted to play college basketball, and I think being here is such a great experience. Also, it's not just about the basketball too, like academics, you know.
For me, it's about like representation, especially like for me, like coming from Ipswich, you know, like everyone knows Brisbane, like everyone knows people from Brisbane, but Ipswich, you know, it's like kind of like the little long lost cousin in the mix. And so I feel like just showing like people where I come from and like that we actually have people who value like just everything, like being over here. It's like if you're from Ipswich, like you can get over here. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't define you. It doesn't matter where you're from. Like you can still pursue your dreams over here. And like same as Mikayla, like I definitely have wanted this since I was like 9. So it's like honestly, this opportunity, all it means for me is just a representation of my family and myself and my association. So yeah.
And it's also getting that exposure, you know, from other coaches and just like getting exposure to even, you know, meet new people and get to play with them. So
from my experience, like I guess the whole stereotype of you have to make state teams and you have to make Australia teams, it's not like that. And I think for me, like being a JUCO product, there's such a negative stereotype to a JUCO product. Like, oh, you didn't go Division 1 first. Like, I think for me, going in JUCO has set me up to play Division 1 basketball at the level that I want to. And I think it's such a great opportunity that you have basketball in school. Like you come out with a degree. Like you don't have a HECS debt, you don't have anything like that. To be able to juggle both of them, it builds character both on and off the court. And I also think, as well as for me, is being a role model for all the people, all the kids at home. Like my mom said, there's so many people that look up to you because, you know, you've gone away from home, you're going away from people, you're training super hard, you're balancing everything. And I think that's definitely something that us three can hold our heads high at the end of our 4 years.
100%.
Well, all three, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. I know you're about to rush to board a plane, and hopefully we'll get have all three back on the show a little bit later to talk a bit more about it, about your basketball journeys. But please send our best wishes to your teammates for us. I know obviously you mentioned you're going to Arizona and then Portland, and especially I'm sure you'll catch up with a lot of Aussies over there at Portland this weekend. And best of luck, and let's hope that winning streak continues, especially on the road.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Everyone go watch our game.
Yeah. Weber State.
Thank you.